Good morning. God, what is today? Today is Wednesday, January the 3rd. I got to start saying the dates on the videos because some of these videos don't upload when I originally do them. So I need to start saying the dates and stuff like that on my video just to document the actual time I actually do the video. I'm just saying hey to everybody. Y'all doing good? That's good. That's good. Yeah, I got a huge migraine, y'all. When the enemy attack me, he'll attack me through my head, so I can't remember the visions. So I normally have like this migraine, which I got, and right now I'm just trying to give myself the proper rest so that it'll go away. So I'm just gonna kind of take it easy, cause mentally it just feel like somebody just boom, 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 playing drums inside of my head right now. Yeah, but through all of that, I did have a vision I'm gonna speak on. It might be an addition to this abundance video that I'm still trying to get together. And right now with the headache, I can't remember. I'm not gonna remember. I'm not gonna be able to do this abundance video till the headache actually go away. But God gave me this vision, so I can remember a little bit about this vision. I can't remember no detail. Can't remember no small detail because of the migraine and the attack. But I have spoken to my authority against it. So the healing is there. I'm just going through the motion, but the healing is already there, y'all. You gotta walk by faith and not by sight. So even though you feel and see that you sick, you not really sick. So that's why I told you I gotta undo the logical thinking of everything. Everything is spirit. God told me everything is spirit. So if he told me it's spirit, that's what it is. And that's how I apply myself in every situation. It ain't even physical, y'all, it's spirit. So God direct the conversation. I don't really know what all you want to talk about. I will start off, I try to chop it up, small talk and chop it up to start the video off, because I never know where you want the videos to go. So just direct the video, Lord, and I'm just gonna speak the vision I had. And in this video, whatever else you want me to discuss, then that's where it's gonna go. These videos be random, y'all. I don't never just get together and be like, okay, let me do a video. Okay, this is what it's gonna be about. I start talking, and wherever the conversation go, that's what needed to be spoken at that moment, and that's just how it be. So I know God's spontaneous. I don't even have no setup. I just okay, let me do a video, and then just start talking randomly, and that's how the video go. So this is no different, y'all. I do have a headache, so bear with me through this. Yes, I'm not feeling my best right now. Okay, this was a good video. This was a good vision. I told you, 95%. And that was the exact number that was spoken to me in my Jesus vision. It's 95%. That's why I'm like 95% warnings. Ding, 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 ding. But 5% is what? Abundance and overflow. So this is the 5% too. So God gave me another overflow and abundance video. And this is why I'm finna speak this dream. This is what this dream is. I haven't had a chance to even go deep into what's all been going on with this. Like I haven't been able to put the research into it. The visions are fresh. So I try to do the vision right then. And I may not have all the information, but as the days go on, normally I speak on the original video and whatever new God has told me dealing with it. Because sometimes God don't tell me right then what's going on with it. But over time, he tell me. So then I be like, oh, okay, let me do another video. He don't tell me the same time I'm doing the video. So it just be extension on an extension on an extension. Yeah, I've been doing these videos. I've been having dreams all my life. So I've been sending warnings and stuff to people all my life. And I've been always like, some people don't even want to be around. And I do understand, because don't nobody really want you reading them. So with me and my gift, it scares some people. Like, I'm just going to be very transparent. It just scares people. So if you sitting there, you telling them all this stuff about they self and don't nobody know about them, it scares them. So some people, sometimes they, if God got a word for them, of course I'm be like, ooh, you finna be moving. Oh, you got this coming, that coming. Oh, you got this car coming. But just overall, I know that, my gifts scare people. So I just kind of walk along. Don't know about really, yeah, I'm tickling myself with this. So, y'all, let me just get into the video. Because, like, again, my mind is just like, with all the stuff going on with the migraine, I'm probably going to be floating around everywhere right now. But I was tickled about people scared of my vision, or my people is scared of my gift. And it scared people be around. Because I sit there and just start telling you all kind of stuff if you around me. And people be spooked, especially when it start happening. I'm like, what you think it is? Like, this the real deal over here. That's how I be looking. And then once everything manifests, they be like, yeah. Like, so some people probably feel like they got something to hide. So that's another reason. Like, if people doing stuff and they got something to hide and they don't want nobody to know, they try to stay away from me. I know that too. Sometimes I be tickled. And it ain't that they even acting funny. You know, sometimes you be like, dog, I just was talking to them today. They don't want to talk to me. And the Holy Spirit, which is my BFF, which to me the Holy Spirit, like an invisible friend, was talking to me, and the Holy Spirit was like, they don't want to be around you because your gift. Like, your gift scare people. Especially they doing something they ain't got no business doing. So they try to stay away from you. So when people do come around me, I do chop it up with them. But when they stay away from me, I be tickled on the inside because I know the reason why you staying away. But I let you just stay your distance or feel like you stay your distance. And then when you feel like you want to come around, then okay, we'll chop it up when you come around. So that's how the interaction be, y'all. So it do be tickling me. I'm like, dog, they don't want to come around because they think I'm going to start telling them all this stuff about themselves. And then I ain't got no control over what God chooses to tell me and show me dealing with you. So whatever I see is what God has shown me. So if I feel like if God showed it to me, that means it's for you to know. I ain't holding back. Whatever he showed me, I'm not good and bad. My dad wouldn't never tell nobody nothing bad. Like, he didn't care. Like, when God will reveal stuff to him, because God not going to interfere with, like, your free will with everything going on. So if it's something that you like, and it could have been a form of disobedience, because, through people, if you reveal people bad to them, maybe it's a way for them to get right. But my dad made up his mind, y'all, and he won't never tell nobody nothing bad. I got to drink something. But my daddy would never tell nobody nothing bad. He didn't care what it was. He didn't care if somebody was coming with a warning from hell. He would not relay the messages. So these people would come to me to relay the messages about don't go to hell. Like, people would actually God would allow these people to come to me to send warnings so I could warn other people. They already crossed over and everything. They'll be coming, boom, I go to sleep. I got some kind of access. God has given me some kind of gift. He has not explained this. But I do have clearance. You know how some people be like, ooh, you dig enough familiar spirit. I don't even have to dig up no familiar spirit. I can go sleep right now. And if somebody died or something, boom, I'd be sitting up here having a whole conversation with these people that I do not know. So they're aware of my gift and they know how to find me. I'd be like, how did you even find me? So everybody don't have this gift. Whatever this gift is. That's why I told you in my other video, God said, in order to experience death, you got to deal with death. And he allowed me to deal with death. Like, death come my way all the time. Be sitting there chopping it up. He'll even God didn't even put me in the process of how death even actually began. I'm in the room with death. I'm in the room with death, and all death do is call out names. Like the book of life, how the angel call out names all day. And wherever I was, and whatever God allowed me in this vision to see, it was angel death. And it had a big book. And all it do all day, every day, nonstop is call out names. That's all it do. And God let me see. And his voice It's like thunder. Thunder and the earthquake at the same time. And my physical body, I couldn't stay in the room with it. I was in the room with it, but it shook me like an earthquake. Like I couldn't stand up and listen to this angel call out the name. Every time he called out a name, it was the thunder and it was the earthquake to the 10th power. I wouldn't even say 10. 10 times 100 to the 1,000 to the millionth power off the charts. And I could not stand in this room while it was doing it. And God allowed me to watch this. Like I'm watching the whole thing going on. And it looked like it had like he had something like covering his head. Like I couldn't really see his face. His face was kind of covered for me. But boom, I go sleep. Boom, I pop up. I'm in this room. And I didn't know what it was because it's never explained to me. I just have to put the piece together. So I'm in this room. And he called out 3 names. God allowed me to be in the presence of it where I called out 3 names. I didn't know who who it was. I didn't know these names. But I remembered the names. So with me knowing these names, I'm like, well, somebody around me got to be associated with the names. I said, it ain't nobody I know, but it's somebody around me. Somebody around me know this. Because there's no way this would be told to me unless it's somebody dealing with somebody around me. So I started asking people about the names that I seen in this realm. And the reason why I knew it was the angel of death was when I figured out who these names actually belong to. So I had got with this one person. I'm like, do you know this person? And the person like, yeah, I know that person. That person dead. I said, well, what about this person right here? You know this person? And then I called out this name, the second name. And this person said, yeah, I know that person too. They called him this. But he died. I guess through dying through the street. He died. He got shot. But yeah, he dead. So then they called it. So then I'm like, oh. I didn't even say the third name. God blocked the third name from me because this person was still alive. I said, oh, you got angel death around you. That's how I was talking. I was so these 6 times. I was like, you got angel death around you. I said, somebody finna die real, real close to you. I said, because God gave me these 2, it was 3 names. And 2 names you already confirmed is people that you know that's dead. So this third person. And I said, and boom, when it's just something in the spiritual. I'm speaking this now. But in the spiritual, because I'm letting God through this conversation. In the spiritual, the 2 people, it was an earthquake and it was thunder as this spirit was talking. And he had a thick book. And all he did was call out names. All day, every day, nonstop. This is all wrong. This is the beginning process for them. This is the beginning process right here. Once that name called out, boom, everything finna start being in motion at that point. So I realized that this is the beginning of death. I realized what God was showing me was the beginning of death. This is how it started. With the calling of that name. By this particular entity, which I'm going to say an angel. He called a name. That's what started the process for death. So he let me be in the room with him. And I was just to the side watching what was going on. And it had this real thick book. And all it did was call out names. And every single name, behind every name, it's going to be an earthquake. And it's going to be thunder. His voice was like thunder. And the floor shook like an earthquake. You cannot stand in the room and keep your balance. It's just like, every time a name called. And this goes on eternally. This is what's going on. No break or nothing. So that's what was going on. But the two names he called out, they had already crossed over. In this particular vision that God allowed me to be in and watch. But the third person, this person was still alive. So with this person still being alive and his name being called out, it had a whole different effect than the other 2 names. And when this name right here was called out, it had a whole different effect. Like it was a thunder, it was an earthquake, but it was multiplied even higher. Like I couldn't even stand to be in the room with it when it called this particular name out. So yeah, so that's how that little quick little interaction was that God allowed me. He don't really explain. I just go sleep there, boom, I pop up, I look, I'm like, dog, where am I? You know that show, Quantum Leap? The show used to come on back in the 90s when a dude used to jump and he used to be in a different like scenery, a different environment, a different image. He never knew who he was till he actually looked in the mirror. He never knew what he was going to be. It's a show called Quantum Leap that used to come on. My dreams and my vision, this is the closest to my dreams and vision, that one show. That if you watch that show, this is my dream. So I had to jump in, and then I just got to try to figure it out at that point. Every time, it's no different. So, God, where's this going to go? Yeah, my head, I got a migraine, so it's going to drift off. Okay. So I spoke on that right there. I don't know. We just jumped on this death thing. You told me in order for me to experience death, I got to deal with death. And you always let me experience death firsthand. Because you keep letting me, you let me interact, which I do appreciate. Because I think anything that God do is good. So if he say, okay, da-da-da-da-da, and he giving me access, then I know that it's sacred and it's special to him. And it's intimate for him to allow me to even do it. So I do really appreciate the stuff. But I be like, dog, God, I'm in the middle of some mess, but I'm very appreciative, y'all. I'm appreciative because, God didn't have to do it, but he did. He didn't have to give me vision and dreams, but he did. So I'm very appreciative of the good and bad. I don't care if it is the 95% warnings. The fact that he chose me, it's just near and dear to my heart. So, what am I going to talk about? Where is this finna go? Do I need to just go and start on the vision I had? The vision I had today. And then if it drifts somewhere else, then it just gonna drift somewhere else. So, today was like an overflow abundant video. It was a pretty good video, a pretty good vision. So, it's not a warning. In this vision, it seemed like we was getting ready for a trip. I was getting ready to go on a trip. You know how you go on like a group trip with a group of people? That's kind of what was going on in this vision. So in the dream, I don't know why, y'all, but for dessert, it's like I was like grilling some marshmallows, and I hate marshmallows, but in the dream, I'm getting these marshmallows ready. So I'm trying to toast marshmallows. I'm like, okay, let me toast everybody some marshmallows so we can get ready for our trip. So I'm browning the marshmallow. The marshmallow probably our dessert. I was like, let me Google some of these marshmallows. Because why out of all desserts, I'm up there grilling some marshmallows. Talking about we going to eat marshmallows for dessert. So I'm actually like trying to get this trip together, y'all. And the dessert, for some reason, it was marshmallows. And I was just trying to like make sure it's melted perfect, doing all this stuff for the marshmallow. But it seemed like, how you get ready for a trip, you kind of be running late. So you kind of be like on this very tight schedule. That's kind of how it was. I was on an extremely strict, tight schedule. So I'm trying to make sure we got enough to eat. In the vision, I'm just responsible for the food in this vision. And I'm just trying to make sure everybody got enough to eat. So I'm like, okay, we got these marshmallows. Let me go and put them on the grill. Let me make sure it's brown. Okay, this one ready. Let me do that one ready. And there's no way in the physical to even do marshmallows like this. I know. But in the spiritual, I was doing something with some marshmallows. So I got these marshmallows. I'm counting the head count of the people on the trip, getting the food together, trying to pack the bags, the lunches for food. But as I'm getting ready for this trip, other people is hearing about my trip, and they want to come on the trip. And I did not turn nobody away that wanted to come on the trip, y'all. Everybody that wanted to come on the trip with me was allowed to come on this trip with me. I made room for everybody. Anybody that wanted to get on board. Look, I guess God is spiritual. God said anybody that I want to get on board can get on board for this trip. I ain't turning nobody away. I ain't turning nobody away in the vision. All random people was coming like, oh, I want to go. Oh, I want to go. I want to go on trips. So I was like, okay, let me make sure I got you your marshmallow. Let me get your sandwich packed. It was like I was packing up this trip. And I really wasn't worried about the resources. I wasn't like, oh, we don't have enough food. We ain't got enough this. It's like I was working with what I had to make this trip happen for whoever really wanted to come on board. So that's what was going on in the vision. So as more people was hearing about this trip, I was like, okay, let me add another bag. Okay, this other person gonna need this. That person gonna need that. And it kind of remind me of Jesus when he was ministering. This was coming to me because I have no memory. And I got migraine, so I can't remember nothing. Everything comes straight from God. So it reminded me of Jesus and the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish, and how they never really ran out. but it was enough for everybody. So I never really ran out of food, but I'm just preparing all this food, trying to make sure we got the food together. Like, I'm make sure we eat, and we gonna be eating good. So as these people come along, I'm just adding them in. You know how you getting ready for a trip. I'm just trying to make it known, just other people that's going on a trip, letting them know, hey, this person coming on the trip with us. You know, we was getting ready for a trip. And I wasn't turning, and I'm speaking now, but I was not turning nobody away. So if anybody heard about this trip and wanted to go on this trip with me, they were more than welcome to come on this trip with me. God, it's coming to me now. It's symbolic. So whatever trip God's saying that he's going to allow me, that other people who wants to join this trip, this spiritual trip is going to be like a spiritual type trip. But it probably some stuff that's going to be going on that I'm going to be doing. Other people going to want to be a part of it. And God is saying it's cool for them to be a part. It's cool for whoever these people are to be a part of whatever finna go on here in 2024. So I'm just getting ready for a trip. I'm just getting the food and stuff together in the dream. It kind of be hectic when you be packing, trying to get everything together, but I'm trying to get the food together. As I'm getting it together, more people want to come. I never turn nobody away. I just made room and use the resources I had to try to make sure it was enough for everybody. So I never really was worried about food or nothing like that in the vision. It reminded me of Jesus when he had the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. You know, other people was worried about it's not going to be enough to feed them. And we got too many people in. You know, everybody had those worries when Jesus had the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But in this vision, I kind of was at peace. And I really want to worry about resources. I want to really worry about how, if it's going to be enough room. I ain't really turn nobody away. If anybody in their heart really wanted to join this trip, I was open to allow them to join this little trip I was getting together. The little trip I was on. So, in the middle of getting this trip, and me getting everything together, I realized it's lunches I already packed. So on top of me packing lunches, it was even more lunches I already packed in together, y'all. So in the vision, I'm like, dog, I got all this food already. I said, but we got even more food. It was like an overabundance. I'm like, we got more food. You know, I'm like, it's already bags. Everything already packed. All this food is we got other food. We got additional food already packed for this trip. So not only do I got all the stuff that I packed for the trip, we got an overflow of food for this trip. We got more than enough. We got an overflow, abundance, outpour, whatever y'all want to call this, what was going on in the vision. So in the vision, I was like, dog, where all this food come from? And one of the person that was on the trip was like, God gave us, like, they were saying just like that too. They was like, God packed it up for us. That came from God. That's what this person kept saying in the dream, because I got all this food together, and I realized it's a whole stash of food, and it's even more. And actually, it's more than enough, because we brought what we had, but then he touched and added to what we had and multiplied what we had. So we got more than enough at this point. So I'm like, God, we got all this food. And dream, the person specifically kept saying, God gave us this. This came from God. And it kept saying just like that. So that was the dream, y'all. So, of course, I was excited. Like, I'd be excited for everything. So, of course, I was excited that we got extra food for the trip. I was excited about grilling those marshmallows. In a dream, I'm excited about grilling the marshmallows. And you do not grill no marshmallows in like, it's no way. But in the dream, I'm grilling these marshmallows, getting them ready. Like, okay, we got to get this. Okay, we got to do that. We got to do this for the trip. And it's like random people was hearing about the trip. You know how I told you speaking and how your testimony and word of mouth and how people can hear. Okay, people was randomly hearing that I was going on this trip and they just wanted to go. So I was just like, but they was coming to me to get clearance to go. So I was like, yeah, you can go. And then when I would say you can go, you know, behind the scenes, I would add, okay, let me pack another lunch. Let me get this together, that together. But at the end of me just going through everything I went through, as far as getting this food and getting everything together to pack for this trip, God had already had an extra stash of everything we needed already packed and everything in this vision. And they was like, God got all that. That came from God. Like, that's how the person was talking. So, and I was like, huh? Because it seemed like I couldn't hardly hear. But the person was getting louder and louder. And I kept saying, can you say that? Where did this come from? And they was like, God packed this. This came from God. So, of course, you're going to be super happy to know you got extra. You got more than enough. You got, and it was like a surprise. Like, it wasn't nothing I was expecting. It was unexpected, too. So, that's the vision, y'all. Very quick. I can't really speak on too much with this kind of migraine. So, I'm just appreciative that God even allowed me to even see this through everything I got going on right now. And that was the vision. So yeah, it's good things coming. And God saying it's people that's going to want to be on board with whatever I got going on. And they're more than welcome. He said welcome. Well, they were welcome in the vision. So if somebody wanted to be on board for whatever reason, it's just like I made room. So I guess God's saying, like, even with where I'm going now, to make room, because other people gonna want to jump on board. So just make room and just try to just the same way you were playing. No complaining, no complaining. If they want to come, just accept them with open arms. God said, accept y'all with open arms to come on my journey with me, on my trip, and just pack a bag to go and just be very hospitable. God know I'm anti, but in this dream I was so hospitable. Like, yeah, you can come. Oh, you want to go on a trip too? Okay, let me pack you a bag. I'm like, how these people hearing about this trip I probably going on? But it was like a trip. And as I was getting ready to go on, the closer it was getting to that time, the more people wanted to be a part of this trip. So I never turned nobody away in the vision. I never said it wasn't enough food. I never said, I just used the resources that I had. And after I used the resources that I had, and after on faith, God stepped in at that point, and he gave me every single thing that I was going to need for this trip and some. So God saying he got my back too. I'm hearing that. I got your back. So with all this extra food, so he said I ain't going to have no worries or nothing. Just plan the trip. He told me just plan it. Just plan whatever you're going to plan and go on push through it, go on walk forward, and people is going to gravitate naturally. They're going to be trying to be a part of whatever it is that you got going on. They naturally could just want to be a part of it. So receive these people with open arms. Make room. I'm hearing all this. So that was the dream, y'all. And that's why I got the dream. I know, little small talk. Also, I was talking, God was talking to me yesterday because I got the migraine, so it kind of affect what I'm hearing and stuff, but he was talking about, because I was talking about the murder of these child, and God wants us to use our authority in the spirit to pray against stuff that he show us. He wants us to use prayer and authority in the spirit to pray against all this bad. And with the good that go on, and with the bad that go on, it's all for his glory at the end. So even if you deal with the death or a loss of a child, which I told you I had a horrendous death, and I told you it was like God still got the, if you look at the first video of pray protection over your kids, you're going to see I was just like, God is a good God. Like, it never changed that how God, me and God still got glory in their good. I mean, in their bad. So even though my daughter died this horrendous death, although my daughter died this horrendous death in this vision, I still was like, oh, God. Like, my relationship with God never changed behind it. He still got the glory in the bad. Because sometimes with Satan, just like when he tested Job, he be like, yeah, your servant following you. Your child is following you because you blessing him. But you take it away from him, I guarantee he won't bless you. Remember, there was the test of Job. And throughout the whole test, everybody was trying to get Job to speak against God. But Job was actually speaking against himself before he even would speak against God. He was like, just kill me. He said, God give it, God take it away. Just kill me. But through the test of Job, Satan was like, well, the reason why Job loved you so much because you bless him all the time. So you take everything from him. You take his kids, his money. You take all that from Job. Job is not going to like you. Actually, Job is going to curse you to your face if you did that. So God took that from him, and Job would never curse him. And that's kind of how it is. Like, God still got the glory through the bad. And even with these cases of these childs and stuff like that, this this serial killer that I saw that was gonna be attacking kids and stuff. God said, use your authority in the spirit to uh to kind of fight it now. Use your authority in the spirit. That's why He telling you, so you can pray against it in the spiritual and release what needs to be done in the spiritual, so it don't manifest in the physical. But if it's something that, excuse me, but if it's something that just has to manifest, He still wants you to do your part as far as praying up against all of what He's showing you. So He want me to do my part as far as praying up against what He is showing me. He's saying that He's still in control. So even if something bad happened and somebody is murdered, He's still in control. And He said it's still a process. And it's a process for the grieving family, because it might draw them closer to Him. So the death of this child might make them just finally cry out to Him. You know, it might be like a point where they just cry out and begin to trust Him with everything. It might take the death of a child for Him, or the death of a loved one, for them to even grow closer to God. So they working through their tests, because we all are on test of life. So even when bad things happen to us, it's a test of life. And sometimes it's just for us to develop and grow to get to the next spiritual level that God wants us to get to. And sometimes it requires a death. Like with me, I told you I had a death of a daughter. God said in order to experience death, you got to deal with death. He gave me 3 revelations. I always speak to y'all about 1 revelation, but it was 3 revelations spoken to me dealing with the death of my daughter. So this was a milestone for me. And God said that I would have to experience a first person murder. I would have to be first, I would have to directly deal with a death to get to where He need me to get to. So He like, I got to take your daughter. He didn't take it just because He could. It's just something I needed to do. Like, He did this in my best interest. So the death of my daughter is in my best interest to get to where He need me to go. So He said, trust the process. So it ain't all about solving the case, because He already know who did it. And guess what? He said everything that occur and happen has already been revealed. Even though it don't manifest on earth. You know, I told you I talked to the little girl who was a high-profile murder. God allowed me to talk to this little girl. And I was like, you already know who did it. So why you need to close on this side over here? But I do understand a way why. Because it's like it helped the healing and grieving process. But again, it seemed like God is in control of everything going on. And people, sometimes it's just for them to be able to build a trust and trust Him in the process of everything going on, you know, and put faith in Him and grow with Him. Like, you don't know how this death is actually affecting the family to how they grow closer to God. Now, they might grow closer from God. They might be like blind God for the death of their child or the death of their loved one. But whatever choice they choose, it's a test. And they're learning and they're in school. And whether they grow closer to God or from God, whatever experience that was to better them. Whatever experience is to better you. And no weapon, you know. It's something come to me. Like everything you go through it because you already had the ability to overcome it, whatever it is. So, if you're going through something, you're not going through it to fail. You're going through it because it's already being calculated for you to overcome it. Now, whether you use the resources available to overcome whatever you're going through, that's you. But every single obstacle you ever go through, it has a positive, good outcome and not a bad one. You're supposed to be able to overcome any and every obstacle through Christ. Through Christ. So if you ain't got Christ, of course you're going to fail. But if you include Christ and He's a part of whatever you got going on, then it's automatically like rigged. I'm going to say rigged for you to win. The race is already won through Christ. But if you don't go through Christ, then you're just going to be struggling. But once you realize the race is already won through Christ, and the quicker you submit, you know, you bow to Christ and just submit yourself to Christ, the quicker you can just get through what you're getting through. Yeah, my mind. So yeah, so that's what I'm talking about right there. Because you're not in the other vision. I was like, well, maybe God wants us to get involved in this and that. He want me to get involved in the spiritual as far as praying. Even though He do reveal to me all this stuff, He's saying He revealing it because He just wants you to know, or he just want me to know, ain't nothing hidden under the sun. These people that feel like they can prey on a child, and because they're innocent in nature, not only innocent, some people feel like they are easy target, like sheep. Like, like sheep, they don't know when they finna get ready to die. Like, it's real easy to kill sheep because they not gonna fight back. And a lot of time with kids, it's just like they don't know, and it's like they might not fight back. And as far as like killing a kid is a part, and I ain't trying to just say it like that, y'all, but when sometimes people feel like they can get away with stuff. Like sometimes people do stuff and do bad and do wrong because they really feel like they getting away with it, when all along God watching the whole thing. He even showing me some of the stuff like, look at this. These people really think they doing all this and think I don't know what they doing. And they really think they, like, in their mind, Satan really got the folks just going, thinking that they can go around and just randomly attack this child and attack that child and attack that child. Well, Shayna, look at this. Because I'm showing you that everything this person doing, I'm just sitting here watching. So it's a process, y'all. And it's a process that we in the physical may not understand. It's a process that's going on with the grieving family. So let that process take its time with it, whatever God allowing to go on with it, because there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And then also the person who actually committed, God is giving that person time to repent. Whether they want to repent or not, God still open that window for them. So even if that person do a crime against a child, as far as the person that actually did the crime, God just wants them to repent. So God is giving them grace at this point, because everything that they has done finna be used and judged against them. So it's a process with this whole little thing of these unsolved murders and stuff that go on. And sometimes God, he want me to pray on the back end and behind the scenes and use my authority in the spiritual. But again, it's just a whole lot that's going on, dealing with the spiritual, dealing with God, dealing with the trauma and trouble that we got to go through to get closer to him and to get closer to our spiritual calling and whatever we was designed for on this earth. It's just stuff we got to go through. We can't just be like, okay, this person did it. Okay, closed case, because our case is not going to be just no solved closed case. But even though some cases are not solved closed cases, God see everything. So ain't nobody getting away with nothing. Ain't nobody getting away with nothing. Especially for the people that has done the horrendous crime. God is trying to give these people grace. But they, in their mind, they done twisted the grace to think that they really getting away with doing something. And then it's going to come back. And God, at that time, whatever time God does assign, is when their death is going to be closed, be solved. It's on God's time. God said those cases, those murders, when it gets solved, when it don't be solved, it's on his time. And he ain't revealing his time. So, but through all that time, he said it's a process going on with the grieving families. It's a process going on with the person that committed the crime. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that's dealing with this. So that's what he was telling me, y'all. So he told me for those kids, just put up prayers and stuff, but he just be showing me ahead of time so I can put up prayers and stuff for all of what's going on. So that's what he told me to do. Just put up prayers, send up prayers in the spiritual against this. Against it. And I will talk to y'all later. This real quick, but this an add-on. That's why I made the personal choice to not do funerals. Because for whatever reason, these people that cry, they know they can find me. So if I go to a funeral, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm being and we going to be having a whole conversation, chopping it up. So I don't be scared or nothing like that. God got me desensitized to death. So when he said to experience death, you got to deal with death. He desensitized me to death. So I just be like, yeah. But I just made the personal choice. Unless it's like my immediate family, I'm not going to go to a funeral, because every single funeral I've been to, these same people come find me, and I just be like, how do y'all even know to find me? So I know it's something in the spiritual that they know, these spirits that have crossed over, that have died, know about me, for them to seek and find me, because all of them seek and find me. So I have made the personal choice not to do the funerals, because I'm going to have an interaction. They going to find me. They going to find me. Like, I can just be minding my business, just feel like, oh, I'm just being respectful, going to funerals just out of respect. But now, I won't even really just too much engage in going to a funeral unless it's an immediate family member. I go. But if it's not an immediate family member, I'm not going to a funeral. I didn't made up my mind that I'm not gonna go to any more funerals because for some reason they know when I'm there and they gonna find me and they know the gift that God has given me. So they seeking me. So they seeking me at this point. They want me to relay messages. They want me to do this like every time I go to a funeral I lay down. So these spirits, they're fully aware of this gift that God has given me. God has not told me too much about the gift. He hasn't told me about this, but he do let me in, and sometimes I ain't just there. They actually supervise the conversation. Like, sometimes when I go, it's like it's a you know how you go to somebody's house like a house guest, and everybody receptive of you. I done been in places where everybody just be like, hey, but all them dead and I'm alive. But it's like I ain't supposed to be there. But then it's like I'm receptive. Like they know they allow me to be there. Like it's understood. Like whatever God got going on. And whatever clearance I got, it's fully understood. Like, it's fully understood. Everybody just gravitate and be like, hey, hey, hey. But you can only be in this place if, you know, you have already crossed over and you dead. So if I see somebody and they still alive and they in this place that I got access to, I already know what that means. I'm like, you ain't supposed to be here. Like, even though I got access, I know I'm supposed to be there. Like, I know I got clearance to be there, but when I see people that's still alive, that's over there, I'm like, nah, you ain't supposed to be here. And look, I be calling them out. Through my authority, I be calling them out. But I do not do funerals. Do not invite me to a funeral. The only funeral I do is immediate family. Because these people, after the funeral, they're going to find me. And they're going to talk to me. And they're going to want me to send messages and all this other stuff that I don't know how they know. God ain't really broke down and told me and showed me in the spiritual what it is and all that. All I know is he said, or to experience death, you got to deal with death. He do let me deal with death firsthand. I dealt with the death of a child. So I dealt with death firsthand in this whole process, and he did something. So I can't tell you what he did, what he didn't do. But they come find me, and I just be like, okay. But I don't do funerals. So do not invite me to a funeral because I'm not going to be there. And it just is what it is. When it comes to that, like, you're not going to make me feel like it's just like disrespectful or anything. It ain't none of that. I don't do funerals. I just made up my mind. On time I do a funeral is the immediate family. That's the only time I go to a funeral is the immediate family. Because these people know something I don't know. And they all find me. And I'm be sitting at the funeral. Then I'm like, dog, as soon as I go home, I'm be seeing these same exact people. So I don't do funerals. So do not ask me. Do not say somebody died. Do not even invite me and none of that. Do not put me in it. You know, the only funerals I'm doing is immediate family members. Them the only funeral, and I go do that. I mean, I don't have no problem with going to funerals and stuff like that, but I just make perfect sure that no. I just deal with my immediate family when it comes to that. And just do it like that. And people can just be in their feelings about the whole situation. Like, I don't really care. You know, people could be in their feelings about the fact that you feel like you don't want to go to a funeral. Like, they can just they can stay stuck in their funeral, in their feelings for all I care. Because if I say I ain't going to no funeral, don't force no funeral on me. Because now you overstepping your boundaries. And now you in violation. I got boundaries set up. I ain't had boundaries before, but now I got a lot of boundaries set up. So now I see that people try to step over what the boundaries I got. I feel like you in violation at this point. So now it's just like, boom, it's just going to set me off. So when I set boundaries and then you still feel the need to cross these boundaries that I set and establish for myself, I feel like you was in full violation. And I'm going to make it, you going to respect my boundaries one way or another. And God, I ain't finna rant. I am not finna rant, God. But when it comes to funeral, unless it's a immediate family member, I'm not going. Unless it's an immediate family member, I'm not going. I don't care who it is. If it ain't an immediate family member, I'm not going. I don't care about, it's all about respect. Respect for what? It's just a culturally respectful thing to go to an attend funeral. I'm not going. I don't care what been indoctrinated in you, I'm not going to it. I will do my immediate family. That's it. If it's anybody else, God had put on my heart to go.
Okay, little fella, Kingpin's gonna sell out.
God had to decide. God had to really give me clearance, say, okay, go or not go, because otherwise I ain't going. If God don't invite, give me an invite and say attend the funeral or not attend the funeral, I ain't going. So that's where I'm at right now with everything. And I'm just speaking on this real quick. And then also, this is on the back end. There's some God told me. This might not be for everybody, but this is what God told me. He said Satan is not allowed to enter into my mind. Like when it comes to my vision and stuff, he don't have access. So it's not like, ooh, one day, is this from God? Is this from Satan? God said Satan can't even come. And he has no clearance to come nowhere near me when it comes to my vision and dreams. So everything I see is from God. Like he said, this is coming from God, and this was recently was spoken to me. Because I ain't never really had a nightmare. I don't never really have bad dreams. I always have warnings and stuff. Everything be warnings or some good coming. But it don't never be like a spiritual attack. And I'm seeing like it never did, ever. And he said, it's a reason why. He said, Satan ain't got access. Like he can't do nothing to you. He can't, like when it comes to your vision and dreams, he's like off. He's restricted from coming anywhere near you. She said, God said that's his limitation. That's one of his limitations, because God be telling me, so I be knowing. So sometimes I be dealing with Satan, I be like, he can't even do this, because I already know. I'm in the knowing. So once you know, then you know how to, you know the restriction of your enemy. You kind of got an advantage in a way. But he told me that Satan can't come to me and do nothing dealing with my vision and my dreams. He said he's not allowed. He do not have access. And this was randomly talking to me, because I never even paid attention. He like, you don't have nightmare, dream thing. He like, he can't. He like, you got protection around you. He like, he can't. He's not allowed. The angel that's around you, protecting you. He said he can't do nothing to you. You know, as far as the vision and dreams and stuff like that. He said all of that is well protected. And ain't no way. He said, ain't no way, y'all. So some people be like, well, you got to figure out if it's from God, if it's not from God, if Satan came in and did something to you. God came to me and told me, Satan do not got access to even do that to me. Somebody else might be different, have to figure out, well, who did this come from? But God said, I got this spiritual protection around me. And basically he just said that he don't have access, like he's not, like don't even worry about that right there. Because this coming from me. And I'm the one that's going to give you the vision dreams, and you only have to worry about is Satan going to jump in and terminate something that I'm showing you. He said you ain't even got to worry about that, because he can't do it. I'm not going to even allow him to do it. But this for me, though. So this ain't for everybody, but he did come to me, and he broke that down, and he did confirm and just gave me reassurance of this. And you know, maybe later he'll break down even more. Because I was just randomly just thinking, and he was like, Satan can't come dealing with your vision dream. Like, he is off limit. Like, he is not allowed to do anything dealing with that. So, yeah, y'all, I'm talking to y'all later.